Welcome back to another Bolt tutorial. In this video, we'll be using a tool called Studio Neato to create a randomized set of visualizations, then save them to your Bolt project in the most performant manner using file storage, so that each of your blog posts in your Bolt project can have a unique image. We've taken inspiration from OpenAI's website where they use this similar gradient theme for each of their cards. This is a great way to visually identify each of these components within the same group while maintaining individuality. First up, let's create a variety of images to use. We'll be using the tool Studio.Neato.fun. They have a variety of different themes that you can choose from. Let's try gradients. Here we can choose our canvas size, customize the colors, and modify all the parameters which are adjusting this image. We can randomize, and once we're happy, we can download as a PNG or record this animated version as an MP4. Let's have a look at a few of the other themes. Here's dither, and let's randomize. There's also marble and a variety more to choose from. Personally, I like gradients the best, so for this, I'll turn animate off and randomize until I'm happy with the image that I like. I like this one, download. Now that we have a handful of these downloaded, let's go ahead and jump back into Bolt. So here's the example blog site that we'll be adding those images to. Let's jump into the database, and we can see that each of these posts has a row in the database associated with them. Often when it comes to web development, there can be a multitude of different ways that you can implement something. For uploading images, for example, you could save them directly within your public folder in your project root, or you could create a bucket in file storage and save them there. And often it's hard for us to know what's the best approach. This is where we can use an approach called Socratic prompting, where you're turning a question back on the agent. If you don't understand how to implement something, simply ask the agent. Here's our prompt. I would like to add images to each of these blog posts. Help me understand the most performant way that I can store a lot of images in the database. Plan node and send. The agent is suggesting the most performant way to store these is storing them as file storage within the Bolt database. Now that I'm clear on its approach and I'm happy, let's go ahead and implement this plan. Bolt's finished the prompt, and now if we look into settings under file storage, we'll now see that a bucket has been established called post images. An easy way to add images to it is by creating an upload widget within your app. Here's our prompt. Please create an upload widget for images which saves them to the file storage bucket called post images. Nest this in the bottom left of the page. Plan and build. Here's the summary. The widget will be a small floating button in the bottom left that expands to a drag and drop panel, uploading directly to the post images. Looks good, so let's implement. To upload bulk images, creating a widget like this is the simplest way to do so. However, in a real blog site where you're publishing one blog post at a time, I'd suggest to add the image upload option directly within the blog publishing page. Here's our widget. Let's test it out. 9 images uploading, and it looks like they're all successfully uploaded. Now let's replace the existing images with the ones we just uploaded. I don't like the existing stock images you use for the blog post. Please replace them with the most recent images I added to the bucket called post images, and build. And have a look at that. Each of these blog posts now draw on the images uploaded to file storage as their main image. Let's add a finishing touch. When I hover on each of these blog cards with my cursor, the blog image should slowly zoom in. When I unhover, it should zoom out and build. Let's test it out. Yep, and it's got that subtle zoom in on each of the images. Looks great. Finally, let's not forget to please remove the image upload widget from the bottom left to the page. Now our blog site looks great, has this universal gradient theme across the blog cards, and includes hover animations. We're ready to publish. The beauty of adding images inside the file storage means it doesn't bog down your code base. File storage can handle gigabytes upon gigabytes of data, whereas your code base should be no larger than about 5 megabytes. So there we go. In this video, we've created custom images using Studio Neato, brought them into your Bolt site using file storage, and have been able to add them as images for each of your blog posts. As always, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and all the best implementing your custom images within your Bolt project.